into it. You got a lot of hate on Instagram. I don't know if you guys haven't
on my
checked
beautiful
that out yet.
post.
Yeah, go follow James' beautiful
Good job,
post on
James.
Instagram. Tradon, I'm going to let you go ahead.
Yeah.
I personally have a lot of thoughts on this too.
Yeah, you should.
Do your thing first.
No, yeah, here, I'm gonna put you in my mind here.
Okay. Well, that's a scary place to be, but okay.
Yeah. When it comes to this stuff, there's a reason that I don't win fantasy hockey, and this probably is why. Look, when I was told to make this set of rankings, I even texted back to James like, what the hell does this mean? Like, I had no idea what this means, but he gave me free rein to just say, hey, just do it. I said, okay, whatever. I picked those important players, and the rankings mean nothing, as I mentioned in a comment. Like, I was just picking the most important player from each team, and they just happened to rank in that, 1 through 8 or whatever. Most importantly, I was picking a player whom is either was a very important part of that team getting to where they are now, or the player has been very, let's just say, hasn't been playing up to his potential, and they will need that player to advance, into the actual playoff round. I am not saying that any of those players are better than, their other teammates. I'm not saying that. I'm just saying, based on the way that I've watched the NHL this year and what I've heard on all types of media, from Sportsnet to NBC Sports, I picked those players because that specific player for that team, in my mind, needs to show up for them to advance into the next round. And if they don't, it's going to be pretty tough for them to go forward. So I had asked you guys to pick, which one made you turn your head like, what the fuck? Because obviously tons of players made people go, what the fuck? And maybe they weren't understanding what I was going for. I'm not going for the top players. I'm going for the important players. I'm going for the right players. If you ever see Miracle, that is my thought process there.
So the biggest one on Instagram is Alex Stalock. People are freaking out by the fact that you picked him.
Yeah, remember when I asked you that playing golf? I was like, James, why the fuck is Stalock on this list?
Yeah, why the fuck is Stalock on this list? And the guy went into whole thing on how I'm stupid because Dubnyk can play.
He straight up called you stupid. It was hilarious.
Let's look at this here. Let's look at this here. With a 0.89% save percentage, a 3.35 goals against average, Dubnyk has had a terrible season. He's kind of fallen from grace. I mean, I would consider him back, a few years ago, I consider him a Vezina Trophy finalist. He was a Vezina Trophy finalist, in fact, but he has not had that type of season this year. He's actually averaging, he's let in 16 more goals on average than the average goalie in the NHL. And clearly, with the way that the Minnesota Wild are, structured, they have the offense to do it. They even have the defense to help out. But when you don't have a goaltender that can keep the puck out at least on a 0.9% save percentage, and that is even still below average, there's just no way that you can compete. And his playoff numbers are okay, but I'm of the firm belief that you ride the hot hand. Stalock has come in. He's an old goal. He's an old time long-term backup goalie. I get that. I get all that kind of crap. But when we're looking at stats here, he has a 0.91 save percentage. It's par, if not better than average, according to the stats of this year. He's saving at average on a relative to his save percentage and his goals against. He's saving on average of what he should be. In fact, he's actually saved almost one more goal than the average goaltender in the NHL. So, to me, I don't know if I'm out to lunch here, but as a coach of my own team, I'm going to ride the hot hand, especially in a playoff series. That, guess what, the Wild, they probably would have come close to making it, but it's not going to be an easy route in. And I've said this last week, so you ride the hot hand. Does anybody disagree with that, or am I fucking stupid? I don't know.
Yes, you're fucking stupid, but not about this. I agree. Dude, who know that Instagram hockey was so heated?
Dude, first of all, I want to know we've got more engagement on those fucking rankings than anything else. I mean, and I was just thinking things through.
Except for the last baseball one.
Yeah, because Eric's fucked up.
But I'm glad I'm hiking with James, and I told him, dude, let's do the most clutch hockey guys, and look what happened.
I mean, is anybody
Tradon's an idiot.
Does anybody think I'm an idiot on that? Besides,
well,
Tyler,
I just look at the list and I see, I'm not going in order, but I see Patrick Kane, yeah, of course. Johnny Gaudreau, yeah, of course. Taylor Hall, right? These are all solid players. Hellebuck, yeah, he's a solid goalie for Winnipeg. Pedersen, for sure, he's going to be in the playoffs for the first time, and he's a solid player. Then you see UC Saros, backup goalie for the Predators.
Okay, here we go again.
And you see Stalock, backup.
Here, why don't I do this? Why don't I copy and paste what I just said just 5 minutes ago? It's the same thing. Oh, and by the way, Pekka Rinne, I would consider that the Nashville Predators are arguably one of the best teams 5-on-5 in terms of their offensive prowess, and their defensive core it's god tier. But Pekka Rinne this year has completely fallen from grace. On top of that, Pekka Rinne has had very little success in the playoffs. I shouldn't say that. He did take the Nashville Predators to a Stanley Cup final. I would say that he was a large reason why they didn't win the Stanley Cup that year. And last year he went from an amazing goaltender to something that
to a puddle of mud.
Exactly. So this year that's kind of continued, and they brought Saros in to kind of take over the first spot. I mean, I'm actually more confident about this pick than I am with the Stalock pick, because there's no way Pekka Rinne is taking the pipes. No way in hell.
I'll agree that I would take Saros over Stalock. My bad, Alex. You go.
No, it's all good. Okay, I got 4 things to say.
Okay.
For the wild part, the one that you got, I feel like yelled at the most. I agree with you. Pick the hot hand, but immediately if he's having they're going to pull him.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
So you were saying if you were a coach, I would agree with you. Start with Stalock. If it goes poorly, put Dubnyk in. Go for that.
You're absolutely right. But if Dubnyk, at this point, I have no confidence in Dubnyk. So why Stalock is the most important player, that if he can at least play up to par, I think that the Wild have a chance to win that playoff series. Otherwise, okay. I don't know. Yeah.
Okay. So I've got 3 that I disagree with you on.
Okay.
For the Coyotes, I don't give a fuck what Taylor Hall does for them. He's gonna show up. My only problem with that is he's only ever been in 1 playoff series. He lost in 5 games to the Lightning, even though that was the year he won the Hart. The Lightning were a much better team, so I don't really hold that to him. And he had the most points for his team. I really think the Coyotes, it's Phil Kessel. He can come back. He can be healthy. He has a ton of playoff experience. He's won cups with the Penguins. He really should be. I know this is his first year in Arizona, but he should be the leader of that team, since they are young and inexperienced. They haven't been to the playoffs since they lost in 2012 to the Kings, I'm pretty sure.
Right.
That seems familiar. Maybe they made it the year after that, but yes, Tyler, thank you. I'm Phil Kessel. I think you just remembered that Taylor Hall played for the Oilers, and then you just got a little excited or something.
No. I am actually not a Taylor Hall fan.
Okay.
I picked Taylor Hall because I would say that the Coyotes mortgaged the future to bring him in for 1 year. He's not even guaranteed that he's going to stay. He came onto the team and did not do what I would expect of him. And I think that if he wants to if he has any inclination of staying in Arizona, or if he wants a chance to go far, or Arizona in general, for them to go far, he needs to play to his level, because he came in and has kind of just been kind of nothing. And I mean, he's been helpful, but he hasn't been the impact player that I would expect of him. And I think that they need him. I think that Phil Kessel, I think that's a great pick as well. I mean, you could literally pick either one of those two. Just given the huge, given everything that that Arizona has kind of done to get him on the team, he needs to play so that they have a chance, because otherwise everything that they did this season is for fucking shit. So
yeah, real quick, who are you picking in that series? Coyotes, Predators.
That's tougher here. I would probably.
I think if Kessel and Hall show up, I'm picking Arizona.
I could see that, but to me, Saros has been just stellar now, and I mean, I have all faith in Nashville up front and at the D on the D side, so I would probably give the edge to them, but I don't think it's going to be easy out by any means.
Got it. Okay. For the Rangers, moving to the East, I think that Chris Kreider coming back, he's the long-term Ranger. Panarin's a low-key Hart Trophy finalist.
He won't win, but it's okay.
He's not going to win, but he's had an amazing season, and he should be at least be somewhat in recognition for it. I think Draisaitl should win, but
That's why you said that right away.
Yeah, I think Chris Kreider coming back is the heart and soul of that team, and I think the Rangers are a sneaky team to come out of the East and go further than we'd expect.
Yeah, again, I think it kind of goes back to what you said with Arizona. I think it kind of is very close on that one.
Yeah.
And I gave the nod to, which I guess my logic kind of runs short, because I didn't pick Draisaitl on the Edmonton side. But given the impact that Panarin has, and you could even throw Zibanejad in there, because he's had a stellar season too. But I think you're right. I think Kreider actually, to an extent, Kreider has a lot of intangibles that a Panarin and a Zibanejad don't necessarily bring to the same level. So you might be the one that I might defer to the next time we talk about the Rangers or important players, because that's actually a pretty good point.
And then last one, Toronto. I think their big three of Matthews, Marner, and Tavares need to show up.
Oh, God.
Toronto has just been all over the place this year.
Okay.
So I think those three need to carry the team.
Tradon's rattled right now. Dude, I just hear notebooks getting rattled.
You don't know. First of all, I hope that no one from Toronto listens to this podcast, because I fucking hate the Toronto Maple Leafs. I hate them more than the Ducks. I hate them
bias.
I almost hate them more than the Calgary Flames, but as an Oilers fan, I can't. Here's the deal. The only reason that the Toronto Maple Leafs even have a chance this season is because Frederik Andersen has been relied on time and time and time again. Their three big guys up front, they are probably the most amazing, young players that we have right now, or of the most amazing players we have right now. They lack grit. They lack everything that the Kings had those two playoffs. They lack everything that the Caps had. They lack everything that Pittsburgh has. They lack all that tenacious grit, and it's been Frederik Andersen who's had to pick that up. And I don't really know if they're going to have I'm going to say it, I don't think they have the balls to do it. And I think Frederik Andersen is going to be the only one to save them, because when it comes down to the nitty gritty, they haven't shown it this season. And Frederik Andersen, God bless you, sir. You're going to be the savior once again.
Yeah, see, which is why I think it should be the other three that are more important, because you have to have, if they don't have trust in their goalie, you're going to lose anyway. So that was just my hot take. I did not know you were going to go fucking off on the so I loved it. I'm about that.
I just want to say I listen to a lot of Sportsnet, and that is to my detriment, because it's a Toronto-based, hockey hub, and all they talk about is the Toronto Maple Leafs, and I know more than I should, and it makes me want to blow my brains out every other day. So, but when they do finally get to talk about other teams, it's pretty exciting. So that's what I had. Hey, please engage with me on Instagram. I will be happy to explain. But you guys kind of now understand where my head's at. Like, to an extent, right?
At least you didn't put 2 backup goalies on the East. You put 2 starting goalies. So for that, I applaud you. But you still got. I still like though. You got that ratty Islanders fan rattled.
Yeah, mostly because he didn't understand what I was going for. But
yeah, he thought you were going numbers. But I mean, Barzal's important. But yeah, come on, it's the Islanders, bro.
I actually asked James if I could pick a coach for the Islanders because right as the Islanders, I asked.
You did, yeah.
Because
no.
To be honest with you, I think that that's the only way that they're gonna win. Otherwise, they're kind of a boring team. They don't have much firepower. It's all defense, which is great, but you need to score goals too. So, but hey, That's all I have. Please engage with me, please. I loved it. It was very fun. Yeah.
You were very polite and cordial in your responses, Tradon.
Yeah, I will continue to be that way. But if you talk bad about the Oilers or talk great about the Toronto Maple Leafs, I'll start to give you a little bit of fire.
That's where.
There you go.
That's where the fire is.
All right. Well, that should wrap it up. But yeah, feel free to reach out to us on any social media platforms. We will do our best to respond as quickly as possible.